Hi, everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal, and we are live for our Friday evening broadcast. Just before I say anything else, and please remind me to keep reminding everybody, there will be no broadcast on Sunday. As some of you may already know, I'm going down to see Benji, Judy, and the girls, and therefore I will not be available to do a broadcast. All right. Hi, Nana. Hi, Isabel. Good to see you. Hi, Jody. So today what we're going to do is hopefully smile a bit while we find some positive things to say about our lives. And I just wanted to thank you all for the incredible journey that we've been on this year. It's really been an interesting time in terms of growth and development and understanding more about our emotional intelligence and triggers. All right, so what I wanted to do was just find some interesting quotes that I thought might amuse you. I found this one from Stephen Wright, who said, "If at first you don't succeed, then skydiving is not for you." I think that's just so. How many of you feel that sometimes, you took up skydiving when you didn't mean to? It's just like, no, I don't think so. And then Groucho Marx said that he found television very educational. Every time someone turns it on, I go to the other room and read. That's one way to be. By the way, how many of you have read a book this year? I was saying to somebody earlier this year, well, quite recently, that what I'm noticing, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but we are getting less and less emails from our friends. Has anybody else noticed that? People are now messaging rather than write emails. And it's like the whole thing has shifted. We used to get mail and then we got email. And now what I'm seeing is it's less and less email, more and more instant messaging of one sort or another. Or maybe it's just in my life. I'm just quite interested to know what it's like for yours. Mark Twain said that all you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then you're sure to succeed. How many of you agree that sometimes ignorance is bliss? Not knowing is sometimes better than knowing. I was talking at lunchtime today and also on my vlog on that I did yesterday, that how confused can I be? I keep getting diagnosed with things, and then as fast as I get diagnosed with them, they tell me I don't seem to have it anymore. So it's really weird. I'm still trying to work out how I've managed to get diagnosed with diabetes, and yet my numbers are so good. It's just like, go figure that one. And there's got to be an answer to that somewhere. Or that I have all the symptoms of diabetes in terms of physical things happening to me, but the numbers aren't there. I'm certain somebody's going to be able to explain that to me. And so far, I haven't found that person. So, but I'm very grateful because, when I think about it, what if the opposite were true? What if I had been diagnosed and all the numbers were horrific? I mean, I like what I've got now, the confusion. It's much more fun for me. So, I mean, confused is definitely something that I do. I'm glad to see you're back, Nana. I didn't see you leave, so that's confused me even more. I love this quote. This came from Robert Benchley. He said, "It took me 15 years to discover I had no talent in writing. But I couldn't give up then because by then I was too famous." How many of you are going, yeah, you can see that happening. By the way, I saw a really cute movie on YouTube yesterday. And I say really cute because it was a good movie, but it had so many great lessons in it. And I want to share that information. And Jody, please remind me to post the link for people. Okay, let me just think now. What was it called? Oh, the Cinderella something. Jodie, can you remember what it was called? The Cinderella Pact, I think. Anyway, it's on YouTube, and it stars Poppy Montgomery, who I actually really enjoy as an actress. And it was just amazing. There were so many great lessons in it about friends, about forgiveness, about betrayal, accidental betrayals. You know, it just had a little bit of everything in it. And if you care to watch a movie where you not only have, it was a nice romantic story, but it had so many different messages in it, underneath, that I love that sort of a movie where it sort of is a bit true to life in terms of what can happen. Absolutely innocent mistakes were made, and yet, and that happens every day, doesn't it? People misread things, they misunderstand things, they hurt you without meaning to. All those sort of things happen on a daily basis. And what I really loved about it was that the power of friendship, and how if you've got a good enough friendship, your friends will stick there with you. So I don't often recommend movies, but if you're into a light, I don't mean an Oscar-winning drama. No, it's the Cinderella Pact, I think, Pact. But I could be wrong. Hang on a second, let me find out. I just want to make sure I get it right. Cinderella Pact. Yes, Cinderella Pact. It was actually from a book. I didn't know that. Good. All right, so hang on one second. Let me get back to the screen. I can. All right, so I found it on YouTube. I was looking for one of those Heartland Hills type, don't have to think movies. And I just saw that Poppy Montgomery was in it, and I like her. So I thought, oh, I'll watch that. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. All right, so here's the next quote. Opportunity does not knock. It presents itself when you beat down the door. How many of you have found that out? It's the more determined you are, the more determined you are, the lucky you become. Have any of you noticed that? When you really, go on a mission for something, it's amazing how much opportunity opens up for you. And this one, of course, only the creator of Peanuts could come up with this one. It's Charles Schulz. He said, "Don't worry about the end of the world coming today, because it's already tomorrow in Australia." I like that. Yeah, we don't have to worry. No, the world hasn't ended. It's not going to end today because, Australia is still around. It gets there first. So that's why I always like to keep abreast with what's happening. It was like, Lauren got to have spring before we did. Actually, she got to have autumn because she's in the southern hemisphere. She's already into autumn, and we're just going into spring. And for some reason, I don't know what's happened. I don't know if anybody else in the country, other than Nana, because she's in the same general area, but, we've suddenly got summer for 2 days. Just amazing weather, beautiful sunshine, just like insane. And then Benjamin Franklin said, "I didn't fail the test. I just found 100 ways to do it wrong." How many of you feel your life is a bit like that? It's not that I didn't succeed. I just kept finding these ways not to do it. Life is a shipwreck, but we must not forget tossing in the lifeboats. Right? So that's a very good thing to think about, which is whatever risk you take, make sure that you've got your exit strategy. Because what happens is quite often when we take risks, we know there's a 50-50 chance that, something could go wrong. But most people don't think about what am I going to do if it does. So this one, very leveling, I think, in lots of ways. Hi, Erin. Good to see you, honey. Any update? The elevator to success is out of order. You'll have to use the stairs, one step at a time. Isn't that the truth, right? We all want an instant solution to our problems, but there, aren't really that many instant solutions. It's the same way about success or anything else. It's just one step at a time. I think about, stuff that everybody here that's been struggling with ill health or whatever, we all get better one step at a time. And to me, it's like really weird how things happen. I was saying at lunchtime today, and I want to keep talking about it because I think it's interesting, that I was amazed. Hi, Lauren. I was just talking about you. I find it amazing how many things went on in my life before I got this diabetes diagnosis that were getting me ready for when that diagnosis came in. Things like meeting Beth and then learning about pre-prepping, meeting Jody, learning about different foods and so forth. Yeah, Lauren, you must have heard me. Your ears were probably ringing. And it's really amazing to me how many of these things, are not a coincidence. It's just like, wow, what if I hadn't known some of these things? I would not have been able to correct it as quickly. Nana was saying to me that, I said in the vlog recently that sourdough bread, I think it was in the vlog that I said it, or in a broadcast, that sourdough bread has far less of a sugar spike in it than, let's say, half a bagel. And the incredible thing is that I don't think I would have found that out if I hadn't, been doing the research that I've been doing. Your foot is healed, Eric. I'm so pleased to hear that, sweetie. I am so happy for you. And you know something, touching wood, and we'll get an update from Lauren. Lauren, your leg is also healed, right? Or healing. Hi, Marie. How are you doing? Good to see you. So, let's get some updates here. Nana was telling us at lunchtime or afterwards that she's been struggling with bronchitis, and I know. Well, something, Marie. Marie, for those of you watching on the replay, is saying it's been a while since she's been able to get in for the live chat. Yeah, but we know that we're here whenever you're ready, Marie. I don't think when you go missing like that, I know that life's just in your way. All right, so Lauren's saying the size of her wound, if you can call it that, is about 1 millimeter. That is amazing, Lauren. Where when you think what you've been through in the last 3 or 4 months. Well, Erin, bless your heart. Erin's saying, I have to say that I saw your video and I was very proud of you for what you've done for yourself. And I didn't know about the sourdough, so thank you. Well, they offered, I'm so impressed with, I've actually written to what they call the Fraser Health people, to write and thank them for the service that I got. But I also did say I'm going to be coming back because not only do I need this information, but I got viewers that need this information. These little things that, given a choice, I would have said that half a whole wheat bagel would have been better for me than a slice of whole wheat sourdough. And it isn't. So, to me, that's really interesting when we can find those sort of things out. Who else was talking about this at lunchtime? Was it Emma? That also has done a great job. She's done such a good job in changing the way she eats that her doctor also is saying, for a diabetic, you're pathetic. Actually, that's what the nurse said to me. I've got to tell you that you rate pretty pathetic on the diabetic scale. The only thing that seems to be a problem for you is when they load you full of, 3 cans. Oh, Linda, that's right, it was Linda. Yeah, the only problem is when they load you full of 3 cans of Coke, then you have a problem. And I'm going, yeah, but, and, I just did another check today. I decided to check when I hadn't eaten. I was about to eat, so therefore I was hungry. And it was like 5 point something. And I'm going, really? This is interesting. How about the best way to cheer yourself up is to cheer somebody else up? Do you agree? Right. So Lauren is saying that it's almost exactly to a year since she was admitted to hospital with sepsis. So, I'm so proud of you, Lauren, because you've learned so much this year. All right. It's like that whole process of your, forgive me for this, Lauren, but, you and I been talking about this, your denial of how serious the problem was through to being, rushed into hospital to nearly, sepsis is when your blood gets infected. You get a very bad sore and then it starts to actually get into your blood. No, not a new thing at all, Nana, as far as I know. I can remember talking about it a long time ago. But, maybe it's new in North America. I don't know. I've heard about it. I got it once. Right. And Lauren saying she was so thankful to Jody and myself. Gosh, yes, her denial was so bad. Yes, it was like that famous quote, right? For a long time, you thought denial was a river in Egypt. Yeah. But it is interesting. And Lauren, because of what you did, you helped a lot of other people wake up. Yes, Maria is saying that sepsis is common, but can be fatal, all right, if it's not treated quickly. It's very hard to come back from. Yes, and Lauren did it. It was a long, hard journey for her. And it wasn't easy, but she did it. Yes, she fought through. Yeah, I agree. Big round of applause for her. And so this is like, but the lesson for Lauren is, yeah, and she lived to tell the tale. But Lauren, what would you say were your greatest learning lessons then from getting this? Because I do believe that we get these sort of things, to teach us something. I was aware today that I was saying, I've had all these little things being diagnosed and then they're not. And part of me started to say, one day I'm going to get a diagnosis that actually makes sense. And I'm going, no, I don't want that. I'd rather have these funny ones that don't make sense, because maybe the one that makes sense is way worse than what they're playing with at the moment. I don't know if that makes sense to any of you, but it's like, no, let me be happy with the confusion at the moment. However, I would like to find out, as you all know, I would like to find out what's causing the symptoms if it's not diabetes. Yeah, Jody is saying to Marie that Lauren fought like a warrior. She really did. Yes, I do believe, Lauren, that you have learned so many lessons. And that's why I asked you, which ones do you think, you have learned through this process? I mean, I'm not trying to test you. I'm just wondering which ones you go, gosh, through this last year, these things have happened and these are the things. Okay, Nana, I'm not sure if I understand this correctly. I'm reading, I did the doctor today, but I don't do the doctor, you know that. Oh, you mean that you went to the doctor and you don't like to do that? No, I don't think any of us do, Nana. But I'm glad you went to the doctor. That was smart. Yes, Lauren, you learned that you are not worthless. Good. What else did you learn? That sometimes you need a 2x4 to wake up and grow up, right? I'm so glad that your doctor was kind to you, Nana. Yeah, I think whenever I seem to remember the last time I had bronchitis, Nana, the doctor I went to said, "You've got a choice now." And I said, "Okay." And she said, "You can go to bed and rest, probably for 3 weeks, or you can have pleurisy. Your choice." And I went, "You mean it's that cut and dried?" She said, "Yeah, if you have very serious bronchitis, it's not just, playing it. You got very serious bronchitis." And she said, and if you don't look after it starting right now, it will go to pleurisy, maybe even pneumonia, and, who knows. And I went, "Okay, I think I get that message." And I went home, and for me, I was incredibly well behaved, because I didn't want it to be any worse, as I'm sure that Nana doesn't want it to be any worse. By the way, Nana, is Rick feeling any better? Because if so, I've got a trick that you rested for 4 weeks. Yes, that's what they say. Yeah, Erin is saying, "Lauren, I have to say you're amazing." And I do have a scar on the back of my leg because it's reoccurring. And it opens up sometimes and gets bigger or damaged every time I sit in my chair. It's frustrating. Yeah. He's a bit better. Okay, now, Nana, the reason I asked is because have you still got a lot of stuff in your lungs? Because I was going to tell you how he can help you, and you can help him if he's still got some. Right, and Erin's saying, and there's the reason I cannot sit in my chair right now. It's totally giving me a run for my money, but you will beat it. Yes, and because both Lauren and Erin are wheelchair driven, literally, Lauren is saying to Erin, "Maybe you need a different chair. I got a new chair and my wound healed immediately." Isn't that wonderful? All right, so Nana's saying that she doesn't have so much, it's mostly clear. So I'm sorry that I didn't know you had bronchitis earlier, Nana, and you probably didn't either. But this is a trick for any of you that have got somebody in your family that's suffering with bronchitis. I found this out. Because one time I had bronchitis, but I needed an operation, and they had to clear my lungs so that they could give me anesthetic. Does that make sense? And I thought this was incredible. What they did is they sent me to physio, and the physios had me lie on my side, and they literally went like this, up and down, like up and down my rib cage here, just literally kept doing this. And then, it was not hard, but it was, with some fairly decent contact, but it didn't hurt me. It just was like a massage going on. And then what was happening is it was loosening up the phlegm, and I was able to just, not pleasant, but I was able to cough it out. And it was really quite amazing, because then they, do it for a while, and then they'd say turn over, and they do the other side, and they kept doing that. And since I found that one out, whenever I've had a really bad chest cold, I nearly always try and find somebody who can do that for me, because I know it helps move the phlegm out of your lungs. Oh, it's cystic fibrosis protocol too. There you go. See how smart we are? Well, Erin's saying she's working on getting a new chair, but the interns are giving me a runaround. I want to tell you something, Erin. You should have heard the runaround that Lauren had about this new chair. Right. Now, that doesn't make any sense, does it, Lauren? Lauren is saying, My grandfather can't have anesthetic because he had TB as a teenager, but my nan also had TB as a teenager, but she can have anesthetic. Now, talk about confusing information, right? Some people can and some people can't. How many of you agree that whatever it is you're trying to do, that the key to success is not through achievement, the key to success is through enthusiasm? You see, if you actually do anything with some sort of enthusiasm, you will be amazed how it adds up. Now, to give you an example of that, for those of you who like to be amused, we were talking about the arm rolls and how Lauren and Jody have found out that you can actually raise your heart rate, just by doing this. If you can't get out of bed, you can do this, and you'd be amazed what it does for bringing your heart rate up. So one of the things that I found out was if I actually get up and do something with some enthusiasm, I actually put in a lot more steps than if I just sort of go, okay, I think I better go and tidy up. But if I go, okay, I'm on a mission. I'm going to go and do and I do it on a mission. I have that sort of energy about it. It's amazing how many steps I will take. And so to me, it's about, like all things in life, be enthusiastic. Don't always be the negative one. All right? Oscar Wilde said, always borrow money from a pessimist. He won't expect it back. And that is a great life learning lesson, by the way. Never, ever lend anybody more money than you can afford to lose. All right? And because, if you lend somebody more money than you can afford to lose, and it never comes back. And by the way, when you give it knowing it will probably never come back. Be surprised if it does. Don't be shocked that it doesn't. Be surprised if it does. So to me, it's like, we all can do things in a different mindset. I've got people in my life, when it seems to me, whenever they talk to me, they're criticizing me in some way, or they're negative in some way. And I'm going, I don't understand why you still talk to me if that's how you feel. And so, to me, this is like, we can all enjoy our lives a lot more. And, I always think about Erin. Erin, is always so good. What I really like about what you do, Erin, just so that you know, I always like the fact that you don't have any fear or concerns about reaching out when you need help or when you need some support. You don't sort of not communicate and then expect everybody to know that you're sick. Whenever you're really sick, you actually write and let us know so that we can support you. Thank you. That's adult behavior, all right? You're not expecting everybody to be clairvoyant. And I know that being ill for you is a way of life. I understand that, as it is for Jody, as it is for a lot of people. But the interesting thing is, I love the fact that you communicate so well and so honestly. And I think I've loved that about you since the day I met you. And, I don't have to, part of me goes, if I haven't heard from you, the chances are you're doing well. You know what it is? It's like, it's great. And every now and then I'll check, but it's just like, how many of you feel the same way? Now, if somebody is honest with me and lets me know, what's going on, I can support them. If they don't let me know, how would I know that they need the support? And so for all of you who do let me know, thank you. This is a quote from Dave Barry, who said, my therapist told me the way to achieve true inner peace is to finish what I start. So far, I finished 2 bags of M&Ms and a chocolate cake. I feel better already. Hi, Sharon. And it's so funny, isn't it? Because I really am aware now of how much I enjoyed all those things that I basically have got under control now. And there's part of me that really wants to eat a Mars bar just to see. Hi, Tyler. Good to see you. How are things in Montana? There's part of me that almost wants to eat a Mars bar and then test myself to see what damage the Mars bar does to me. But there's part of me that doesn't want to do it in case it's not that bad, and then I'll go back to eating them. Yeah, a very happy Friday to you as well, Ty. Glad to see you here. So you have brains in your head and you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know. And you are the one who will decide where to go. Dr. Zeus, right? You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you will know. And you are the one who will decide where to go. So whether you are happy this week or miserable will be because you decided to be happy or miserable. I think the most thing I want to